Yo, 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 Dave Burman, good Monday night. We're live here on the first Monday of June in 2024. CMPradio.net, our Delco Sports 360 program, and to my right, 6'8", number 54, class of 1980, Chester High, basketball great, the one and the only, Brent Hagwood. Brent, thank you for joining me on the show here tonight. Lots to talk about. And yes, your nickname 6'8". We have Leslie here, is our engineer, and you actually went to high school with Leslie's dad and mom.
Yes, yes.
So tell us about Mr. Chase, right?
Yep.
And mom, Pam Alexander. So tell us about, let's get the scoop on the Mr. Chase, Mr. Alexander back in the day.
Well, I known him.
Talk. We need you. You know what they call in TV? Swallow the mic.
I think he
There you go.
grew up on the east side near Smedley.
Yep.
Yeah, and we all knew each other. And I think he played baseball, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and he played football. But Pam, she was in the pep club with Mr. Ronald Tominski, and they went to all the games. All the games.
So the Brent Hagwood story. You're in the Chester High Hall of Fame, class of 2001, the Delaware County Sports Hall of Fame, Pennsylvania division. Very impressive. I'm on the board for the Delco Hall of Fame locally here, and I'm pushing for you to get in. But remember, I'm only one vote, man. But I'm trying. Okay, I got your back. And another guy I want to see get in. And I don't care if this is worldwide or not, I want to see Shake Allen get in our Hall of Fame, the Chester High track and field, the girls coach, and what a job he's done. So I can only do so much, but it's an honor to have you on the show here tonight, Brent, because your sister Doris worked for the Burman's Pharmacy for many years too.
Absolutely. It's a privilege and honor to be here also,
So your career, graduated 1980, your head coach, Cliff Wilson. But let's start. Were you born at Crozier or Chester Hospital?
I was born at Sacred Heart.
Oh, Sacred Heart.
Yeah, Sacred Heart.
Okay.
Hospital.
I was born at Chester Hospital, which is now where Chester High is,
Right.
1958. So there you go.
Right.
So Sacred Heart is, it's something else now. It's still like a medical
Community
facility.
hospital.
Okay. All right. So then where'd you grow up? Tell us about mom and dad and all that good stuff.
Well, my parents were born in the South, in Savannah, Georgia. My mother and my father, Allendale, South Carolina. And in the late 50s, they migrated up north, for work opportunities and whatnot.
So down south back now, it seems like the opposite now. There's more opportunities down south for jobs. That's what I hear. Yeah. Than it is up here in the north. So back then it was a whole different ball game.
Yeah, but then you have to realize it was the civil rights movement.
Oh, segregation. Because I was, it was crazy. I was on the radio in Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is really not that far south. It was from 1989 to 2002. And I go down there and they found out I'm from Pennsylvania. They start calling me a Yankee. And I'm like, oh my God. But they were really into the Civil War because their this is what I did learn. Their soldiers fought in the Battle of Gettysburg against Pennsylvania soldiers, the last battle, I guess. So anyway, yes. So it was a little, it was interesting down there. But yeah, the civil rights stuff, yeah. Well, they had schools that were segregated back then, way after Pennsylvania, united everybody.
Absolutely, and a lot of people migrated north for employment opportunities.
Yeah.
Jobs were plentiful in Delaware County.
And Chester was booming, man.
Yeah.
The shipyard, Scott Paper.
Yeah.
So you were born.
I was born in the Bennett homes.
The Bennett homes.
Yeah, and after a couple of years, we moved to 10th and Curlin Streets.
So my whole family. My dad grew up on 22nd Street, Chester. Mom, 3rd and Parker, Elman's Variety Store.
Oh wow!
Yeah, there you go. And and my Uncle Bill, my mom's brother, he's living down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Graduated with Emerson Baynard in 1961. He talks about Emerson really got mad at him because Uncle Bill, he was 6'5". I wish I had his height, but he blocked in a pickup game. He blocked Emerson's shot, and Emerson was ticked off. But anyway, he's got some great stories. Book about Emerson. John Lemon's putting it out, and he has an appearance coming up soon. So the Bennett homes. And that's what was it like? I guess you were born, if you're not 1980, you were probably born in 1962.
Yeah, but you know what? I vaguely remember a lot of things back then, but I really have a good memory growing up on Curlin Street.
Yes.
Right across the street from Ferrello's. You know?
Oh man!
So that was my childhood.
Ferrello's. Life goes on.
Great family.
Yeah. You know? Unbelievable cheesesteaks, hoagies, and stackies, and all that stuff. So you went to, what was your first school you went to?
Lincoln Elementary.
Okay, is that building still there, or did they?
No, they demolished the building.
Okay,
but the lot's still there.
Gotcha.
You know, on the 8th and Lincoln Streets.
And then middle school.
Went to Larkin Elementary School.
Larkin, all right. And I actually went to Chester schools. Again, I'm 4 years older than you, right? I'm born in 58. You're 62. So I went to Toby Farms. No, Franklin Where did I start? No, I started at Toby Farms and Franklin Elementary, where the charter elementary school is now, and then we moved to Wallingford, and then I became a Nether Providence grad. But and you had some wars with Nether Providence back then on the basketball court.
Oh, absolutely.
We could get into.
I remember Maury Zimmerman. He was
he
like
was
6'9", 260 pounds at the time. He was a big guy. You know, I remember playing against him.
Coach Chesney, then Coach Casmer. You know, so you said you went to Lincoln Middle School.
Yes.
And then
Larkin.
Oh, Larkin Middle School.
And then Showalter Junior High School. Okay. And then from there to Chester High School.
Did you play Chester Biddy?
I played 1 year. 1 year.
Why is that? You should have played.
Because my father was pushing me to be a baseball player. So I played Chester Youth League. I was a pitcher.
I played in that too. Chris Leggett, we're older than you, but at the top of the hill, right? Yeah.
Mayor Stefan Roots.
Oh,
I played against him, and he was a hell of a baseball player.
My brother played there too. So you probably, but Stefan, I think, and my brother's 1978 grads.
Yeah, but he was good.
Yeah,
he was good.
Yeah, Stefan.
He was good.
And the current mayor. So
he was a prima donna. Matter of fact.
Are you serious?
He wore white spikes. I was
you took after Billy White Shoes.
Yeah, I was teasing him about that at the Roberto Clemente film.
Yeah. Showing you had. That was awesome. So then you go to Chester High School. In 9th grade, did you play both sports?
No. I played on the freshman basketball team under Jack Signer. We went 16-0, and his teams were undefeated, for at least 6 or 7 years until he left.
So that was 9th grade?
Yes.
And that was in, let's say, if you graduated in 80, that would have been 1977.
Yes. And 78,
they bring you up.
I thought I got cut because my name wasn't on the sheet, after practice, and I started not to come. I said, let me just come to practice anyway. And Cliff said, come on up with the varsity.
Exactly.
And then, I beat out a couple of seniors for a starting spot.
Well, you guys went to the state tournament that year, lost to Harrisburg in the quarterfinal round at the farm show. I have color pictures of that. I'm going to send them to you later. I keep forgetting. Yeah, you as a sophomore, what an experience. You lost. It was a heartbreaker. Hot Shot was on your team. Dennis Jackson, got to give him a shout. He saw my Facebook page and he started adding all these other pictures. So how about that experience, getting out to the farm show and playing a tough Harrisburg squad, 1978?
Yeah, Harrisburg was on our schedule. We would go up there and play them.
Yes, which I wish we'd get back to that.
Yeah, but you know what? It was an experience because they auctioned cattle in that arena. And it was dead spots on the court, and you would see bales of hay on the side and manure, I know. And you might bounce the ball, and it might not bounce back up. If you dribble the ball, it's dead spots, but it was a great experience. The place was packed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll see these pictures. I'll tell you what, that was, lost. Then 70, your coach Cliff. In 79, you had a lot of guys back. You had my man Poteet, the referee.
Danny Poteet.
Danny Poteet. He was at.
But we had Rudy Burton, Walt Dixon, Truck Roberts, 79. Who else? Ike Jones was on that team.
Oh, yeah, Ike. Okay.
Roland Dell, Danny Poteet, Jeff Gibson.
Now, I have the roster, the roster on your 1978 sophomore year.
Yeah.
So, number 12 was Edler.
Darryl Fuller.
Oh,
Hot shot.
That's Fuller.
Yeah, hot shot.
54.
That's me.
Yeah, there it is. Hagwood.
Yes.
44 is Bob Burton.
Yes.
This is on the 78 team.
Yeah.
42, Morton.
Clayton Morton.
Okay.
He started at power forward.
Number 30, Rudy Burton.
Yes.
And then you have 14 was Harper? Thompson.
Maybe. Yeah. Kevin Thompson.
And McLaren was 52.
They both played football.
And Dennis Jackson, number 10, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Dennis was like one of the best guards I ever played with,
I saw some pictures of him. He could jump, man.
Yeah, he could
Whoa.
play. And you know what? We used to practice the alley-oop pass on the side. And so once we got in the game, I would just make eye contact with him. And he would know to throw that pass above the rim. And I would just be there to catch it.
You guys had a great record during that area, during your 3 years, man.
Some of my best dunks in my career.
And no video, but at least we got some pictures there. Number 10, Dennis Jackson. Number 20 on the 78 team, Good. That's Ike Jones, number 22.
Vaughn Good. He
Vaughn
was good also.
Number 50, Dixon.
Walt Dixon.
22, Nichols.
David Nichols.
And 24, Roberts.
Robert.
So there you go. There's your roster. I actually have the article from the Delco Times. There it is. It was a tough game out there, and you got Chester. We lost 78 to 74. Fuller had 26 points. Man.
Yeah.
And then so you live and you learn. But then the next 2 years, 79 and 80, got knocked out in the district tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, well, tough competition, man.
Yeah, and I got hurt in 79. I had like a stress fracture in my shin, But,
Yeah. And then 80 was an upset.
Yeah.
Springfield Delco.
Yeah. I had like 3 men on me in the low post.
Well, then get it
Played
out.
Dion Orange, They played a boxing one. A man in the front of me, a man in the back, and one on the side. So.
And then
Luckily, I scored 1,000 points.
Yeah, 1,001 points in your career.
Yeah, I didn't think I made it, but I was focused on trying to win.
Yeah, Springfield, they were loaded, man. They were tough. Well, they were tough.
They shouldn't have beat us.
Right.
They shouldn't have beat us.
But so when you do that kind of defense, the other team just get it out to your guys and hit some shots.
But you know what?
And it was at the clip joint.
Losing Dennis and those seniors from 79, it made a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was raw. I just had raw talent, And as my sophomore year, I used to play down the boys' club and down the cage. And fortunately for me, 2 of my friends that lived on 11th and Butler, their sisters had boyfriends that played on the Sixers, Lloyd Free and Darryl Dawkins.
Oh, man.
So I would go around there, and when I seen the Lincoln Continentals out there, I said, oh, they're in the house. And Lloyd Free would tell me what to do to get my body stronger and develop my game.
Right, he was strong.
Yeah.
And
He
Dawkins
had just came from Guilford College.
But he played on that 77 team. He lost to Portland.
Yeah.
Your freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
And there's a big time, there's Chester connection there. So did you ever meet Darryl Dawkins?
Yeah.
Did you try to, any way you could play him one-on-one or just see?
No, just in passing. But Lloyd Free, I spent a lot of time with him. Right. He would talk to me and take me for rides in his car. And it's so ironic. As I got older and I played professional in the Baker League, I played against him.
Free! Yeah, we should. 77, Portland, the late, great Bill Walton. among others. We had a 2-0 lead, and then the fight with it was like a boxing match with Dawkins and Luke. And Lucas is a Pennsylvania guy.
From Shenley?
Pittsburgh Shenley, 71 state champs. And they went at it. And the coaches for Portland, Chester Connections, first of all, the head coach, Dr. Jack Ramsey,
Right.
and he coached St. James for a bunch of years.
Right.
And then the assistant coach, you probably know Jack McKinney, the late, great Jack McKinney,
But
went
he
to St.
coached-
James.
Yeah, he coached at St. Joe's as well, right?
And St. Joe's, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were right in them. They were hard-nosed dudes. Gene Shue didn't want to have anything to do with it,
I
but
remember that game.
yeah.
And Darryl Dawkins' brother, he came out on the court.
that's right.
And Dr. J sat at half court with his legs crossed.
Yeah, sit me out of that. And that's why you would never think that Doc would get into a fight, but Bird and him, man, woo.
Yeah, I heard.
And Doc he had long reach, but yeah, we could go on and on and on. So,
But Doc was a class act.
yeah, so
You know.
I want to talk about some of the guys you've met over the years. Then you're being recruited. I heard the Pride of Chester, Bo Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted you to come to. I think he was
Madison.
assistant
Yeah.
at Wisconsin at that time.
Yeah.
So why? And you said it was too cold, really?
Well, Bill Cofield was the coach then, and
Okay.
he used to come with the whole staff, and Cliff set it up. Basically, Cliff, my first 3 college visits, he chose the schools, and I went. It was cold,
Right.
3 feet of snow. I knew nothing about
You had to
Wisconsin.
fly. You had to fly.
Yeah, I flew out there.
All right. Okay. You're
First
used
time
to
on a
flying.
plane. you
Okay.
know.
So this is what, your senior year?
Yeah.
During your senior year.
Yeah, you get 6 college visits.
So what do they offer you? Full scholarship, I'm
Full
sure.
scholarship, but I didn't know much about the program, and
But
Bo
Bo,
was a good guy, and I was
Yeah.
just getting to know him, and he was really, really sincere, but
Mm-hmm.
it was just, for me, too far away, and it was too cold, and I wanted to play closer,
okay.
whereas my mother said she wanted to see me play in my family.
Yeah, but back then you had to
Yeah.
go to the games. None of the internet stuff now. People
Yeah.
can stay home and
Yeah.
watch. So who else? LaSalle.
Well, after that, Arizona, University of Arizona.
Oh, that's where Herman
Lim-
Harris and Len Gordy played.
Yeah.
Was Fred still the head coach of the?
Fred Snowden.
Yeah, Fred Snowden.
Yeah, he was
So-
the head coach. Lenny was an assistant.
Oh,
And then, I
yeah.
went down to Tucson. It was
was- Lenny was-
122 degrees.
he was young.
Down
Lenny,
there.
he got right into the coaching. All right.
But guess who I was on my visit with? Leon Wood. He's an NBA referee now. He went to Cal Fullerton. And Ralph Jackson, he played at UCLA. Me and those 2 guards were at Arizona.
And you turned down Arizona, but the weather was
It was too hot.
too hot. All right, too hot. Because Bo was at one of our events a few years ago, and Dennis Jackson has the video.
Yeah.
And he's man, too cold. You said it was too cold. All right, so then continue on with the schools.
After that,
Well, you knew.
I
Did you
went-
get?
I
Did you
went-
real quick? Did you get Division II offers also, or did they say, "Hey, you're too good for that"?
well, what was his name? Coach Rowe at Widener.
Oh,
He told me to come walk over and see the campus, and I'm being recruited by
right,
every major college in the country.
right.
So I never looked at Widener, but my cousin was like, "Never know, be a big fish in a small pond."
Oh, you didn't even go over at all.
No,
Okay.
Cliff was like, "Man, you're going big time."
Okay.
So after that, Cliff set up something with Tulane, so I went to Tulane. I knew nothing about the program.
Yeah.
And went to New Orleans. It was a big time Division I program. But after that,
okay.
I went to USC. They recruited
Southern Cal.
Southern Cal.
Who was their coach?
Stan Morrison. And there's a picture in the Sports Legends Museum. Me, Stan Morrison, and I'm standing next to Dr. Jerry Buss, owner of the Lakers. He's alumni from USC.
Oh,
and
that-
Magic Johnson was there also.
I think, yeah, I got
Yeah.
that picture.
Yeah.
Jenna
It
sent,
was at a USC Stanford football game.
damn,
We're on the field.
wow. Yeah, let me try to find that picture here. that
USC
Dennis
recruited
sent.
me hard. I gave him a verbal commitment also.
Yeah, because Dennis.
And they told me, they're like, look, we have all these connections. We can get you on the basketball show, the White Shadow, and that's the picture right there.
All right, so there's the picture. You can see it. Well, I don't know how close. We're on a delay right here. But anyway, so I think it's a 10-second delay just in case we say a bad word. So anyway, yeah, there it is. So anyway, so the who's that?
That's me.
That's you. That's
the
you.
USC shirt on.
All right, who's the guy?
Stan Morrison. He was the head coach at the time.
And there's Jerry Buss.
Dr. Jerry Buss.
Okay, this is.
He's alumni. He was a chemical engineer.
So this is 79-80.
Yes, and that's the guy that played at San Diego State.
And there's Magic.
Yeah.
So Magic was still. Well, no, Magic was in the NBA then.
Yeah, that's his rookie season.
Yeah, beat the Sixers.
See the Lakers shirt? That's his
Yeah,
rookie.
okay, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That is an incredible picture, man.
It was a beautiful visit.
Yeah.
Beautiful. They recruited me hard the whole year. They
Yeah.
just waited too late to sign me. I wanted to get it over with.
Another picture here. It's
At the Palestra.
going up against that
John Pannone.
John Pannone. There's LaSalle. So he ended up at LaSalle.
Yeah.
And
But you know what?
how
Who
that-
else did that?
Oh.
I took Georgetown. I was recruited by John Tom. He didn't recruit players, but he came to Chester High's gym to see me play, practice. And then he talked to my mother. He went to he said, I don't recruit players. And I gave him a verbal commitment too. I wanted to go there, took a visit, and I should have went.
Yeah, because you would have been,
Playing with Patrick Ewing. You
Yeah.
know who else recruited me? And Cliff told me I couldn't go. I couldn't get to take a visit. Lefty Drizel at Maryland.
That's my man.
I would have played with Len Bias.
They would have.
Also,
yeah.
another coach. I used to see him in the stands at Chester High when I would go in the locker room. Denny Crum from Louisville.
Oh, man.
And also, another man was recruiting me really hard. Jim Boeheim from Syracuse.
Still doing his thing.
All those major schools came to Chester.
So Lefty, he recruited, man, I'm selfish. I was a radio announcer in Harrisonburg, Virginia. After he left Maryland, he went to James Madison.
But you know
And he recruited Ray Carroll, but Ray ended up going to Fordham. So.
Because Buck Williams and Albert King were going in the NBA, and at Louisville, Scooter McCrae, Rodney McCrae, Darryl Griffith, they were all leaving. So they were all good opportunities, but I never got to go. And also, my last visit was at UNLV. Tarkanian.
Tarkin, he was there. I have a great picture of me down in Harrisonburg, Virginia, with Lefty, who I got to know for all those years. I was a radio announcer down there, Harrisonburg and James Madison. And he had Tark the Shark come into a bar a restaurant bar. And it was great. I got a great picture of Tark the Shark. Met him. He didn't have the towel, chewing on the towel. But Tark the Shark, he was crazy.
Yeah.
And him and Lefty were just so down to earth, man.
Yeah,
well, they were using me to try to recruit. I kept talking, get some Chester guys down here. I go, you have to go up and get them.
Yeah, but I didn't have a 5-minute conversation with him when I went to UNLV. It was all the assistants. He was strange. He was a quirky guy. He was kind of weird.
Okay. All right. So Tark the Shark.
Yeah. But
running Rebels.
big time program, a lot of stuff was going on. A lot of these schools back then, they would find a way to give you some money.
Right.
I can say it now. They're paying
really?
kids now.
I heard the
some
stories.
some kids were getting houses for their parents. They were like, what kind of car you want, etc. But
How they get away with it?
They would have an alumni get the car, a booster, drive it a couple of miles. It's a used car, sell it to the player for $1.
Some inside scoop there. There's probably been stories. I've heard different things over the years about that. But, so it's we could go on and on about that kind of stuff. So who know? And today they're paying kids.
Right.
I'm not following this NIL.
Right.
I know, I should, but I think you're involved with that, aren't you? Sort of. Aren't you working?
No.
You're not. I want to get to what you're doing these days.
I think they should be paid something.
The high school kids?
No.
Oh, the college kids.
You're generating so much revenue for the
They
universities.
Yeah.
Millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Yes.
They should get a stipend, get something.
So back to 1980 with Brent Hagwood, 80 grad, Chester High, basketball legend, Hall of Famer, 1,000 plus points in his career. So how'd you end up with LaSalle? Lefty Irvin, right?
Yeah, they recruited me hard. And
Another lefty.
Yeah, another.
He was a smooth operator, I heard.
Yeah. Well, they said he played baseball. I thought his name was Lefty because he was crooked, you know.
Was he crooked?
I don't know, man. Did you ever hear of Darryl Gladden? This
Oh,
guy
yeah.
he would have been a first
Philly
round
guy.
pick. Yeah. He did him wrong, and I should have woke up. But, you know, Larry Cannon recruited me hard.
the late great.
Fran Dunphy recruited me hard. And Michael Brooks said, Brent, this is going to be your program. And Lefty said, we're going to build the program around you.
Okay.
And at the time, I had a fiance, and
No kids, though. No kids
she
yet.
got pregnant.
Oh, okay.
And I said, well, I'm going to stay home. And Michael and Lefty assured me, well, we're going to build the program around you. And I was
They're
like,
6'8", 6'9", whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And Michael Brooks was the player of the year.
Yeah, what
and I
hap-
used to work out with him.
how many years did you play at LaSalle?
2.
2 full years.
Yeah, I couldn't take it anymore.
Wow. What were they doing?
He was sitting me on the bench behind Tom Petrowski.
Oh, man.
7'1" guy.
Tom Petrowski.
He had to get 3 or 4 fouls, and then he'd put me in the game and want me to be Superman.
He made the NBA a
Yeah,
little
because
bit.
Jack Ramsey was coaching Portland. Somebody, Jim Lynam
Jimmy.
coaching. Yeah, the
So,
Big Five connection.
I have an old book. It's like a preview, old yearbook, 76, 77 or something. Has Tom Petrowski, I think, with Portland. And they get in there, and as part of his bio, can barely walk and chew gum at the same time. Now, you would have schooled him one-on-one, right? All right, so
I used to destroy him.
did he hack
A
you
matter
out?
of fact, we were in Hartford, Connecticut, playing in the Hartford Mutual Classic. And an insurance company sponsored the tournament. So UConn was in it. So I'm in the hotel lobby, Red Auerbach's there.
Woo!
So I said, let me carry your luggage to your room. We had a good conversation. So he saw Tom. He said, can he chew bubblegum and walk? I said, well, you'll see him play.
Oh, he did ask.
Yeah, he asked.
Oh, Red.
Yeah.
Too bad you didn't get to the NBA and play for him.
Oh, man.
Well, that was
Yeah.
the heart of the wars with the Sixers, the Lakers. And so you end up at LaSalle 2 years.
Yeah, I couldn't take it anymore.
All right, so you got 2
But
years.
you know what?
Your classes were, you got the
You know
grades.
who
were
I
good.
used to play against? I played against him in high school. Jay Wright. He went to Central Bucks.
That's right.
We knocked him out.
I think Council
Then he
Rock.
played
I think
at
Council
Buckman.
Rock. I think he went to Council Rock. I think.
Central Bucks, I thought.
I have to look it up.
Because I always talk to him and bring it
Okay,
up.
but he's from
But
Bucks County. But
he went to Bucknell,
yeah.
and we beat him a few times. And
How
I
tall
had
is
good
Jay?
game. Jay's about
6'2"?
6'3", 6'2".
Good player.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
good.
good.
He was good.
All right, so you got to know Jay.
Oh, yeah.
Then you
And he
left.
never changed.
You left LaSalle.
Yeah, I went to Georgia State. I shouldn't have went. I was supposed to go to
To the-
James Madison. But,
Back
you
to
know.
James Madison.
Yeah,
Roy
I was-
Campanella might have been the coach then in the 80s. He was a legend back in the 80s. But you ought to see James Madison now, man.
Oh, yeah.
Football. I mean, it's beautiful.
No, it wasn't. It was George Mason.
No, in Northern
They
Virginia.
were like down by D.C.
Yeah,
you know.
outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a good program too.
Yeah, they were coming.
But it's so ironic. At the McDonald's All-American game, I was in the Omni Arena, and I was on the other side, and somebody just made eye contact with me. And I looked across. It was John Thompson, you know, and I had redshirted, and I said I should go talk to him and tell him I got 2 years of eligibility.
Right.
And I could have, you know, that would have been the move.
So you went to Georgia State.
Yeah.
Far from your mom.
Yeah.
What's your dad
I
say
fell
about-
in, my dad passed away when I was 12 years
Oh,
old,
man.
you know, so,
Yeah. So your mom
yeah.
had a,
raised me.
you had to
and my
call her
brother.
every night, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so you went
But
to,
you know, I have relatives in Atlanta and Savannah,
Yeah,
Georgia,
yeah,
and all
yeah.
over Georgia.
so what was it like at Georgia State?
I
What
fell in
town's
love
that?
with the city.
What town's
Atlanta.
that? Oh, it's right in Atlanta. That's Division One.
Yeah.
How
That's how I met Dominique Wilkins. Because
Saw
all
the-
the doctors used to come there. Him, Randy Whitman, and Glenn.
Doc Rivers.
Yeah, Rivers.
Yeah.
They were rookies, and they used to come and get their physicals and stuff. And we played pickup games. His brother Gerald, he was at Middle Tennessee.
So you and Dominique about the same age?
Dominique's older than me, but Dominique, it was a good experience. And I knew Wes Matthews.
Oh, yeah, he was tough.
He played at Wisconsin.
Yeah,
so when he was with the Hawks, but Wes, he enjoyed the nightlife. And Dominique, you never saw him in the club.
Oh, okay.
Never.
All business. How about Doc Rivers?
Never saw him.
He seems kind of
Never.
straight. Won a world championship with the Celtics, of course. They were back in the finals, 2008. Came to us and
Strictly professional.
yeah, Doc.
Yeah.
All right. So how many years Georgia State?
I redshirted a year and I played half a season. And the coach that got me there, he got fired because we had apartments and it was a losing program. And then we got this guy, Tom Puglisi. He was from SIU or St. Louis or somewhere. He was friends with Fratello. So that's how we got to practice in the Omni.
Mike
The
Fratello.
Hawks, yeah.
So what'd you do?
From
After,
Jersey.
so you got your degree.
I played like four games, man, and I said I'm out. I came home and I played in the Baker League, signed with an agent, and I went to Argentina, and that started
Overseas.
my career overseas. Yeah, but Chuck Daly used to come to the summer league games, and he used to say, "Look, we need guys to rebound and play defense. Everybody can score." So
Did he want you to thug it up at all, like the bad boys? Because
he was just saying, you don't have to score a lot of points.
yeah, we'll
to
just
play
do
in
the dirty
NBA.
work underneath, and just.
But Red Auerbach told me, he said, every team needs an instigator, a tough guy. So that's why he had ML Carr on his team.
He did talk a lot of trash.
Yeah.
He did talk a lot of trash, and he beat us. We beat him. He beat us. But yeah, well, John Chaney, when it got really physical, he said, "Send out the goon."
Oh, yeah. I heard some stories about him from a good friend of mine, Terrence Stansberry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But may he rest in peace. I will not repeat what I was told.
Okay. Cheney.
Not in this
He was a little
form.
crazy. I mean,
Not on the air,
You're right. Calipari.
off the record.
Yeah, but he's.
But I'm saying with his own players.
So you're in the Baker League, and Chuck Daly, he University of Penn, and he went to the Pistons, won a couple NBA championships. He's a Did you know he's a Pennsylvania guy? He's from Mount
University of Penn, right?
Yeah,
And Doug Collins used to coach there too.
Well, no, he's from Chuck Daly's from a small little town out in the middle of northwestern PA. Kane won a state championship in basketball, 1949. No BS. That's true fact. So Chuck, and he was hard nosed, man. He was assistant when the Sixers won it in '83.
Yeah.
Did you meet Moses and all those guys?
Never met Moses.
Doc?
But you know what? In the Baker League, I used to play against Joe Bryant, Kobe's father.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was a hell of a player. He was good. He could shoot the three. He could dribble at 6'9", 6'10". And I got to play against Lloyd Free. Earl Cureton got to play. He just passed away, I heard.
World champ, yeah.
Yeah.
Earl. And then actually, in '77 finals, Joe Bryant was one of our best players for the Sixers because McGinnis couldn't make nothing. Remember George McGinnis, that one-hand push-up?
But you know what? This other guy, I think that's the reason Herman Harris didn't make the Sixers. Terry Furlow. They called him Michigan Furlow.
Yeah.
He got killed in a car accident.
Yes.
He was good.
He was on the '83 team.
Yeah. When Herman got drafted, he had the keys to Smedley Gym. And him, Ron Johnson, Fred Moon, they used to pick me up every morning. We worked out. But I think Herman, he got signed a multi-year deal for $75,000. That was a lot of money back in '76.
Right.
And Herman really wasn't in good shape. You
got to stay in shape. Fred Moon, Duquesne.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Fred Moon? Now, did you ever play pickup against Emerson Baynard?
No, but I used to play down the cage, and he used to come down there and watch.
Okay, because I know big age difference, but I've been playing with the Chester Boys and Girls Club with the guys. Finally went down there a couple Sundays.
Yeah.
Legette's still good. Ketty Harris, Keith Taylor, but he's young, 52. And the 79-year-old James Sonny Reeler played for Darby Colwyn back-to-back. He came out and played, and I had to guard him, and I was kind of like giving him the – he starts making shots. My teammates getting on my case. You better guard him. He's good. I didn't want to get – because I'm younger.
Yeah.
But anyway, your Sonny looked unbelievable.
Yeah, he went in the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Back-to-back
Sports Hall of
Darby Colwyn, which is now Penwood, back-to-back undefeated state champs. Yeah. Right. So I thought maybe run into you and Herman.
Well, I played against Mike Marshall, all these guys. I was a teenager, Buff Kirkland and Wilbur Kirkland. Right. They were playing in Europe. Yeah. And I was just a teenager, man. I was raw talent, could run and jump, and,
So
I was raw.
What was it like playing against Mike Marshall? He's just a little guy, but he was...
Oh, man, he used to get out there like he was on the Globetrotters and dribble around in circles. He could shoot the jump shot,
Yeah, and then, all right, Donnie Dodds. The late, great Donnie Dodds.
Class act.
Passed. He was coaching.
He never bragged or talked about being Mr. Biddy like some guys do. He didn't have an ego. He wasn't full of himself. And, it's good to reminisce, but, you can't get stuck in the past. Every now and then I might look at my scrapbooks, but we're older now, and that stuff.
But I love pumping you guys up. I'm doing it because I just think it's, and the people just love it, especially Facebook. So many people, and Chester, PA has their own Facebook page. So Donnie, did you ever? Yeah, you went up against him. Yeah. I think they beat. Well, that was in '77. They beat Chester, St. James.
Well, we played against them in their gym, and the crowd got rowdy, and the referees weren't calling the game the way they should have. And Coach Cliff Wilson pulled us off the court. And that ended the game.
Whoa,
in 1978.
I might have that article somewhere.
Yeah, he pulled us off the court.
Yeah. So forfeit? Or did you come back?
No, we lost because we forfeited, I guess.
Well, then
it got that bad.
If I repost that, then you're going to get the St. James people saying this happened, and the Chester people saying.
Just like when Donnie went into the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I sat at his table with him, his wife, and his daughters, me and my fiance.
Yeah.
He was always a good guy. He got the job as the dean of students at the charter school. He would ride past my house and pull over. We sit on the porch and talk about old times.
Right.
Class act, real good guy. Humble.
He was.
And had all the talent in the world. Certain guys that are out here bragging today, they couldn't touch him.
That's what I hear. And we always look for film.
Yeah.
So John Lemon, you're keeping in touch with John, who's writing the book about Chester basketball.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to give you a shout in the book. I haven't read the whole thing.
Well, I had lunch with him, and I got to see the book before anybody. But he's been having some health issues, so he's been sick.
I saw him recently. He looks good.
Yeah,
looks
but
good.
He told me.
Because he's coming to Burman's Health Shop. But anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, from 78, he skipped 78 to 83. He left all those teams out. Okay. And he said, Brent, you're in the book, but I'm on the team of the decade. And I told him, you need a picture, it's no problem. And he did full features on other guys, but I'm good.
They were big years. They were big years. So Chester finally wins its first ever PIAA state title, 1983. And you probably were a mentor to those guys, like Pearsall.
Yeah, I used to come
Ted Williams
and practice with those guys,
Bill Reed.
Yeah, when I was in school, I used to come home and go over there and practice with them. And
Steve Miller.
Yeah.
Eric the Wizard Jones. Yeah. It was Ike Jones' brother.
Yeah. And
Tom Jones' brother.
Coach Bird. He was another
Coach Bird. He's a nice guy. Nice guy.
He was a
character.
He was a character.
Coach, I love that guy. I used to see him when he was in the retirement village before he passed. He must have been 20 years ago. I used to always come up. It was in Wallingford.
Okay.
And I used to always say hi to him and talk, because I finally got a tape of that 83 game, the actual TV broadcast. So I gave him a copy years ago. So you were played overseas how many years?
Like 11 seasons.
Oh my gosh.
But I coached as well, and then I was a scout. you know, for a law firm. They had, you know, it was a sports agency in a sense,
Right.
you know.
So did you ever? So you overseas? Well, first of all, what was that experience like?
Oh, it was
A
great.
lot of money, right?
It was great. Back then, the money, they're paying millions now. But back then, you had to pay an agent, you had to pay the IRS, and then, you know, you had
okay.
to save your money, but it was a good living. You practiced 2 hours a day, you played once a week, so that's 12 hours.
What countries did you play in?
Argentina, Venezuela, Chile, Peru, Costa Rica, Colombia,
Oh man,
Brazil.
good food and all that
Yeah.
stuff over there. And,
It was nice, you know,
you were married?
experiencing different cultures.
oh
and,
yeah, yeah.
You know, the food
Can
and
they speak
learning.
Spanish? Is that?
Yeah,
Can
pretty-
you speak Spanish?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I used to speak like 4 languages, but if you don't practice the languages, you lose some of this stuff.
So
But
after-
Europe was also,
Yeah.
you know, France, Holland, Germany, Iceland, Finland, Belgium.
I got to look up your stats, their total stats, because people can write a book about you.
I don't know.
I mean, it's an incredible career, Brent.
Yeah, but you know, when you're young, you take these things
Yeah,
for
I
granted.
know. And
you know?
you're a humble guy. I
You know,
understand.
you take these things for granted,
Yeah.
but it was a great experience. I wouldn't trade it for a couple $1 million.
Right. And you're still young. You're only 62, 60, whatever, 63. But what year did you finally retire from basketball, professional basketball? 90?
I went on a tour with the NBA. I should have bought the program.
Oh, man.
We went to Costa Rica. It was Anthony Mason
Oh, man.
and Kenny. He went to Wake Forest.
Not
The guard. He had
Kenny Smith? Not Kenny Smith.
Yeah.
I think he went to
No, he went to Wake Forest.
North
didn't he?
Carolina.
Or Georgia Tech.
I think he went to North Carolina.
No,
Kenny Smith.
yeah, that was Kenny Smith. But
Right.
this guy, he went to Georgia Tech. He was a point guard. But Anthony Mason was on that team.
Well, I remember him because of the Knicks. I don't like New York teams, and I'm glad they have a long losing streak. And I was rooting against as much as I like the bully ball was fun. Those games were Pat Riley. It was insane. And Mason was a big, strong dude, man. So did you play against him?
Yeah.
Could
And
you
I
ha-
even coached him, but he intimidated so many people.
Was he?
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, I sent you a picture of us together. And, you know, I even lived in New York at one time, and
Okay.
we used to hang out. But he said to me, you know what? You got heart, because a lot of guys are scared to play against me and guard me. The same thing with Dominic Wilkins, you know. And George Carter always told me, he said, those guys, they put their shorts on just like
There you go.
one leg at a time.
What'd
So
you do to back then? Can you imagine if they had the weightlifting like they do now and all that? But you had your own play. Who was your guy who helped you stay in shape?
Well, basically,
Like a trainer?
yeah, when you played abroad, they had a trainer to
Okay.
get you in shape, and you would
Right.
go to a gym, and you get a condo or house, a car. You can eat in any restaurant. They do your laundry. It's the life of Raleigh, you know.
Right.
I mean, it's a great life. Now it's even better
Ugh,
because
yeah.
they're paying millions and millions of dollars
Yeah, they are.
right now. You know.
So then, I mean, we could talk forever. What did you do after you retired from basketball?
I worked as a sports agent, and then
Are you still doing that?
No.
No more.
I started working in refineries in Marcus Hook, you know.
What do you do there?
I was a chemical operator.
You still working?
No.
Did you get a good pension from the?
Well, yeah,
Pro.
but I got hurt. I
Right.
had back surgery, you know. And then they started closing some of the refineries because of all these accidents and chemical
Oh,
releases
yeah,
and
yeah.
all these people getting cancer and
So what
lawsuits.
So what are you doing right now?
I'm just basically retired, and you know,
Well, you lost. I mean, you look good, man.
yeah,
You know,
I lost
both
like
me and you.
65 pounds, you
Yeah,
know.
I mean, it's just drinking a lot of water.
I had
It's your
to.
water right there.
Yeah.
Water.
But you know what? The Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, the Sports Legends Museum,
In Radnor?
nonprofits.
Yep.
Yeah, so they keep me busy, and
You were at the Roberto.
every now and then trying to mentor a young man or something. I help put a couple kids through college, because I don't have any children.
No, all right. Now, why don't you get into coaching? You could work with some of the big men in this area. Have you talked to?
Nobody reached out to me.
Oh, that would be
Nobody
unbelievable.
reached out to me, so maybe they don't need my expertise. But Keith Taylor, one time we exchanged numbers, and I never heard from him.
I'm putting it out there. I don't care what school it is. Of course, I'd love to be because Chester Charter, Chester High. But you want some help with just not only your big men, but anybody on the team. Brent Hagwood, yeah. Well, Deb D. Jarnett's coming back to the area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had her on my show,
Okay.
and she was a great player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she's been up in Connecticut for 18 years, and she's coming back this summer sometime. She follows me on Facebook and stuff, and she wants to get into helping out the kids also. So I mean, it's a fertile territory here. It's especially the town of Chester with the athletes. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, because, I've been through it all, and I can help these kids with the recruiting process, choosing a school. They need somebody to talk to. I've been there, and I've done it all. So.
Well, do you want to give any contact information out, or if somebody wants to, hook up with you because you're not on Facebook, you're not on that Twitter?
They can get my information from you.
Okay, good. Contact me, Dave Burman, about the Brent Hagwood here. It's great to have you on the air, man. So, so you're still living in town,
Yeah.
and do you still go to some high school games?
I went to the one in Coatesville, and they lost against
Imhotep.
Imhotep
Well, wait,
by 30 points. I was there.
this
And
year?
I was recovering.
It
was
and I announced the
not
game.
this year.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah. I had broke my hip, and I was recovering, and I went to that game.
It was at Coatesville. It was It was the state semifinals. I was the PA guy.
And they got blown out. By
Well,
30.
Imhotep,
I was there.
And Imhotep, the game before that in the state quarterfinals, barely beat Marple Newtown. They took them for granted. Marple had some multi-sport athletes, and they slowed the game down. And Chester's not going to play that way. And Chester kept taking it to the rack, Now, Keith didn't coach that game. He was under the weather.
He was in the hospital.
Yeah, he was under the weather.
Yeah, but you know what? They had big men, and they said they had players from all over the country.
Oh, yeah. Well, Justin
Texas
Edwards.
and different places. Guys 6'7", and Chester is a small team.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there, and it's always like a reunion.
Oh, yeah.
You see
And
the
Coatesville's a
old
beautiful facility. I love doing games there. And I do their football the last 3 years at Coatesville. So, but and then the game after that was St. Joe's, was a Roman Catholic against Lower Merion.
Yeah.
I don't know if you stayed for that game or
No,
not.
they said it was in another gym.
Oh, that's they
yeah.
separated the crowds because they
Right.
wanted to make more money.
Yeah.
They should have charged everybody the doubleheader, but PIAA. I love the
It was two
PIAA.
games at the same
The
time.
way they're treating the media, the PIAA, it's like they don't even want the games on the air. You wouldn't believe how much they charge. A lot of my buddies are still in it, out in the boondocks. They still air a lot of local games on the radio, and the PIAA charges them so much. It's unbelievable. But this is great to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And got about 4 or 5 minutes. Anything else you want to add here to just what you would like to, what are your goals as you hopefully can live another 35, 40 years? We all hope.
Basically,
We go one day at a time.
I do want to get involved in coaching in some capacity, or maybe working with a sports agent. But my primary goal is to move and maybe move south, and explore some other options.
Well, you have time to travel now.
Oh, yeah. I take trips all the time.
Yeah.
I just need to get away.
Do you know where your roots? So you were born in Chester, but mom and dad,
From Georgia.
Georgia. What town? Do you know the town?
Savannah.
That's a big town now,
And
isn't it?
Augusta. My mother grew up in Augusta, and she used to always tell me stories about James Brown dancing on the corner and people would throw
he
change.
was from there, wasn't
Augusta,
he? Yeah.
Georgia,
Oh, he was
My
the
grandmother
greatest.
was from there, so I'm
Man.
a country boy at heart.
Yeah. It is
really.
kind of country down there. I mean, even it's a different. It's a different kind of, it's a little bit different than up north here. It's
I spent my summers in Savannah, Georgia. And a matter of fact, my grandmother had a farm and some animals, and, I used to get up at the crack of dawn and have chores and all
There you
that.
go.
And I grew 6 inches in one summer. So
well, you can go out. You can get close to the south. All you have to go out towards where I was for all these years on the radio, Lewistown, PA. There's, you go out there towards Lancaster. It's like a different world.
Yeah.
60 miles, but I know you probably want to.
Well, I go shopping up there.
Oh yeah, they got some outlets. My wife loves it.
I want to go south. I want
Right.
peace and tranquility.
All right, well, hopefully
quiet. I like to go places where I don't hear a lot of sirens and all that.
But it's so cool that you're going to all these events, man. I mean, the Delco Hall of Fame sports events, and you're out there supporting the guys. And tell me about Dennis Jackson. I want to get him on my show. He graduated 79.
Yeah.
Hell of a player. And he's a big businessman. He wants to still.
He gives back to the community.
Yeah.
He's my guy.
May peace
He's
be
like
with him.
One of my best friends, Dennis Jackson.
Yeah.
And he's a religious guy. He's a man of God. I call him Reverend Jackson.
Reverend Jackson.
So
yes,
that's what I have in my.
Well, hopefully I can get him on the show. It'd be great because he's
Reverend Dennis Jackson.
Yeah, but not only if you don't have to be from Chester. If anybody from Delaware County wants to be part of this show, I'd love to interview you. I like. I really enjoy it, man. It's really good to get Johnny Gonzalez on, the baseball players. I had the Chester Biddy guys. But there's, it's good because you have so many. You guys, Chester had so many just epic state playoff and district playoff games over the years.
And then it's good to get a different perspective from guys that actually played the game, instead of guys that just come to games and want to volunteer as a assistant coach or something like that.
Right.
It's good to get a different perspective from somebody that's been there.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
do you keep in touch with Len Gordy, Herman, and those guys? They're out. Well, Len's at Creighton, still doing his thing.
Yeah,
assistant
he's
coach.
Still coaching.
Yeah.
The last time I saw Herman, I think they put Coach Warren Bourne in the Pennsylvania Hall of Fame, and he got inducted. I'm on the board of directors now
for the Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Who is the Rich Pagano's on the?
He's on the board.
Who's the
Katie
president?
Rose? Katie Rose Thornton.
I never met her.
Yeah.
Okay, so she
took over for Frank.
the
May.
late great Frank May.
Yeah. Frank May got me involved. Before I even got inducted. So
there you go.
I've been in there 10 years.
And Tom Troutman.
Yeah.
He's promoting. He's not on our board, but he promotes a lot of guys that I think need to be promoted. But
he told me he had to step away because guys from Chester weren't getting a fair shot.
Tom.
Yeah.
A fair shot at
getting in the Delaware County Hall.
Our Hall of Fame.
Chester High ball players.
Well,
that's what he told.
Yeah. Well, we have we got some Chester High.
Yeah.
We got
things are getting better.
Yeah.
I'm
trying.
Things are getting better.
Yeah. It's not just me, but I mean, I want to see Zane get in.
I understand.
Shaw, all-time leading scorer in Chester.
We cannot change the status quo. This stuff's been going on for years, and we all need to get our just due.
Right.
While we're still living,
Yes.
When people die now, it seems as though people want to honor them.
I want Pete Rose I don't care what anybody says. I want Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. Sorry. That's my opinion. So.
Well, they have a certain criteria, You have to follow the rules no matter what,
Yes, so I guess we all have skeletons. But
oh, yeah.
I know. But,
as far as talent, he should be in there.
Yeah,
but the other stuff,
I know.
I don't agree with that.
Whatever. Yeah, but then everybody gambles. Basketball coach. You got look at the guys on our Jack McKinney, Jack Ramsey, Frank May is on our Hall of Fame. Johnny Abrams, former Chester Ellis Dwyer, Bob Ford, Moose McLaughlin, from Chester, Danny McGinnis, 54. But
John
he also
DiGregorio.
Ridley.
That was the father.
John.
Senior?
No, John was the head coach of Ridley back in the 80s.
Yeah, he wanted me to go to Malvern Prep.
Oh, John.
Yeah, that's how I met him.
And then of course Bo Ryan got him. Larry Arbery got in 2 years ago. Jameer's in. My grandfather's in. Bobby Burman, boxer. 1959. Bobby Burman. He was a newspaper guy, man. So he was all over Chester. He was a pro boxer. So yeah. So I'm glad Leslie, you have a copy of the book here, and you can look at everybody that's in there. And it's so cool. Delaware County. We honored student. We had a student luncheon. We honored Grace Kelly of Strathaven High School. The Joe Cirilli Memorial Distinguished Athlete Award. Congratulations to Grace, graduating seniors here. Abe Kenna, Chester Charter Scholars Academy. The Team Toyota Most Courageous Athlete Award. Abe Kenna, congrats to you. The Ernal Construction Outstanding Female Scholar Athlete, Strathaven, Hannah Procup. Congrats, Hannah. And Mike Scarpignano, Plumbing Outstanding Award, Male Scholar Athlete Award, a 3-time PIAA state champion lacrosse, great basketball player too. Michael Savadov announced a lot of his games over the years. So we, all you got to do if you're an athletic director, you can push your kid, get your kid nominated at least for this event. Ryan Fisher, great job at Chester Charter getting that done. Abe Kenna. So, Brent, thank you very much for your time. Leslie, thank you. And we will be keeping in touch. Brent Hagwood, 1980, Chester High great. Played for Cliff Wilson, 1,000-point scorer. And also a state playoff team, 1978, college and professional. Brent, thank you very much, and let's keep it real. All right, for Leslie and Brent, I'm Dave Burman, and enjoy the PIAA postseason. We got softball going on. We got baseball, a couple of Delco teams left. Lacrosse, we should win a couple state championships. And there you have it, DelcoSports360.com. And we'll see you next time.